It's terrible.
What do you
Okay,
live a lifetime?
yeah, we are live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to TAT Chat number 106. And this is going to be about the importance of technology to reselling. And with me, as always, is Nick.
Hello, mate. You all right?
I'm good. I'm good. I mean, you've obviously had a bit of a busy afternoon, and it's kind of related to tech, so that will be good to dive into later
Yeah,
on.
we'll dive into my auction fun and games I've had today. Quite
It,
stressful to say the least.
it is, and it is very tech related. Apologies for starting a couple of minutes late. We ended up chatting, and then I didn't realize it was 6:02. So apologies for those waiting, but we have already got quite a few people in the chat. BCP, Chelsea, Chris Newton, Richard Payne, Peter Ray, Dr. Doodle amongst others. Lots of people are coming in and saying hi. Callum Tucker as well. Falling on a Bruise, Heather, John Morris, Sib's in here, Sib K as well. So Phoebe, Darren, and thank you everybody for joining us. Really do appreciate it on this pretty eventful Tuesday. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, my kind of take on the topic when we discussed it earlier was if we discussed our reliance on tech, and also very apt for today, and we'll go into why in a minute. But when it goes wrong, you really realize how much you're relying on it. And today was just an example of that, how messed up things can get when tech fails.
I think it's definitely an interesting topic because I think it's almost a given, and there are going to be people out there who have grown up not knowing life without the internet, and just by the dint of being eBay sellers, you can only be an eBay seller if you're on eBay, which is only found online. So, to think about it and to extrapolate from that actually your whole income is dependent completely on your service provider keeping their end of the bargain and keeping you connected to the internet. That's an interesting thought and not one that we often think about.
Yeah, and I wonder how many people who are in this reselling game are solely person to person traditional. I bet there's not many now, because even the quaint old antique shops, you can guarantee they're putting their good stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wonder if there are any standard just bricks and mortar, buy and sell over the counter, or go to auction, live auction, and then sell it in a shop. There must be some, but I reckon they're in the minority now.
Well, I mean, I think definitely there'd have to be. I think that kind of selling, unless you're at the very high end of things where you can still charge like a real premium. I think unless you're at the very, very high end of the market, I can't see how it would be viable, because obviously prices for things have gone up, because if you're up against someone that's selling an item on eBay, they're going to pay more for item X than you will if you plan to sell it at a car boot or at a fair. And then, just to further that point, someone that's selling on Amazon will be willing to pay even more than the person selling on eBay, because the chances are they'll be able to get more for, obviously if the item's relevant, to get it onto the platform they sell on. So definitely something that it's you have to kind of bear that in mind. Definitely, I don't think there can be many.
No, I mean it's yeah. Well, shall I explain, because we kind of led with what happened to me today. So if I just fill in the gaps with that, and then we can take it from there.
Sure.
I haven't released it yet, but the video will probably be up tomorrow or maybe tonight, showing me going to an auction of a garage that had been closed down in my town. And everything was being sold off lock, stock and barrel, but it was online bidding only. So I went and I valued all this stuff. To cut a long story short, at 11:30 this morning, bidding was meant to end. And then there would be 10-minute bid extensions if somebody else bid. And then it carries on like that. But it got to that 10-minute point when all the bids kind of come in, and I'm sitting there waiting, and the whole website just crashed. Everything went to pot. Nobody knew what was going on. And then about half an hour to an hour later, everything appeared live again. And it all started off again with another hour and a half of bidding. So then we went through the whole palaver again, and I won all the stuff that I wanted. And then they decided that they were going to start it again. Some of the stuff I'd won stayed in my one items box or page. Some of it was live with my bid still standing, open for other people to bid on, even though I'd already won it. I was livid. I was ringing up the auction house. I was on a chat with tech support from the online place, and they were all clueless. They didn't have a clue what was going on. And I think they lost the people that were selling up. I was saying to you earlier, I reckon they lost them thousands because people were just fuming and giving up bidding, walking away from it. And I think I did well because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be amazing to see this. Obviously, when you put the videos up, but yeah, from what you've told me, it's yeah, they've really messed up in a big way.
I don't even feel like it's actually. It's all done and dusted yet. I feel like they're just going to turn around and say, no, the auction's null and void. We're going to start it again tomorrow or something. And then I've spent, before 10, I was ready, sat in front of the Mac, and I was still on here at about 5 o'clock trying to, finish everything off. So
I mean, it makes you think, doesn't it? Like, it makes you think, like, it would be interesting to see in the chat how many people have got, like, business broadband, because you'd think like companies like you'd want to get the most reliable internet connection, and like how many people in the chat would be interesting to see have actually got something which is there for businesses. So I'm guessing if you get like a business broadband line, isn't it meant to be a bit more reliable, or in terms of being able to get support out? And would you think like maybe an auction house, or
I think that's just a way of them charging you more
money? You don't think there's any difference?
Broadband is broadband. Just because they put the word business, they just charge you an extra 30 quid a month.
You don't think they offer like quicker support or a more stable line? So people,
they might do, but I don't think ours is business.
No, neither's mine. That's why I was wondering, like, what how many people out there if they seen a difference, because people do tend to kind of pay for that, and if it does increase your the chances of you always being online, would it be worth it? I mean, how much is it worth? I should also mention Krillin is in the chat, and he has said hello along with Lonnie, and Krillin has super chatted $2 asking Z, are you losing some stones? I don't know, I hope so. I've not checked.
Oh, have you not been checking your weight and stuff?
No, I did once, and then do you know what it is? I've started to eat vanilla custard donuts from Sainsbury's, like, and I just love them. I mean, I'm definitely doing more exercise than before with the dog walking and stuff, but I'm pretty sure most of that's being negated with with
your donut intake.
Yeah, so I'm kind of I need to. Thing is, I'm getting worried because May's only around the corner. Honestly.
Oh no, we're not back into it yet. The weather's been wet, like
horrible.
Every day it feels, and
yeah,
we don't like taking Monty out in the wet anyway because he doesn't like it and he gets wet and smelly.
Yeah,
we'd go out in the wet, but it's not nice. And when you're thinking we're doing hour and a half, 2 hour walks, it's like nah,
not really nice, is it? Exactly.
So,
yeah, it's not ideal.
Boil with that. Somebody was asking what the website was. I think before I was just I can't remember what they're called. Bidspotter.co.uk, well-respected, quite large online auction house.
Yeah, there's only a handful of platforms which do this, which do that, which is like handle online auctions. There's very few auctions out there that have their own online system. Most of them are either going to be with like iBidder or BidSpotter or SaleRoom, or I think those are pretty ones, the main ones.
The firm that was actually the auctioneer, if you like, was the auction house I went to last week, but it was all being held locally to me, and they were kind of doing it all online. There was no bidding in the room. And going back to the topic, I reckon if they'd have just done a normal, sent an auctioneer down on the day, standing there with his little hammer, the whole thing would have gone smoothly and they'd have made more money, because this online fast that happened today cost them a load of money. It certainly, I nearly gave up, and I'm glad I didn't, because I think because everyone else kind of gave up, I did well. But I can see why people just weren't bidding by the end of it. And when they
Yeah, it's,
started it again for the third time, they didn't really tell anyone. I thought I'd won it, all my stuff. It was only by chance I logged back in. It's like they're live again. What's going on?
it's crazy. I mean, you think about that. It's like that's the size of that hall. You know, it could well mean that you'd be busy for a lot of the year.
Yeah, well, to give people some context, this was a big Hyundai and Isuzu service garage, and this I basically bought pretty much the entire contents of their parts store, and this is a store that's the size of a house. And I bought all the racking as well, which I'm not sure I'm going to be able to move, but they're okay for me to leave that behind. But I may have a way of moving that now, and it equates to I trying to value it was a nightmare anyway, but I think I've done rather well. I won't talk numbers right now, but it's a lot. Crazy.
Oh, there you go. Sib K has just had a look at Virgin Business Broadband. 48 response time on faults, up to 350 megabits per second. 40 quid including that, 30 including that. That's actually not bad. 40 quid a month plus that for 350 megabits per second. Oh, I'd love
I can
350.
tell you what we're on, like speed wise.
No, well, mine. We've had I mean, again, this is something that I'm sure people that are in the chat who've moved as resellers. One of the first things people probably do nowadays is to check, as well as how good the schools are and how good transport is. Most people must now check how good the broadband is. And
Yeah, sure.
yeah, we definitely did do that when we moved up here, and we still had to take a big hit. I mean, I think we were on about 150 meg download, which is really quick down south, and then up here we're on about 40. So it's a big
fiber optic.
Yeah, we're on the best they've got here, but it's just not that good. It's BT's miles behind when it comes to speed against Virgin. BT's fiber optic is still like flaky, really, to be honest, because it's still, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if they change some of the wiring, it still has to go through the exchanges and all that jazz, I think. Yeah. So slows it down at that point.
I just read, sorry to interrupt, I just read Joe and Callum just researching our flights out of Thailand. Think our second stop is going to be Bali. Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Oh, talking of which, though, we found some flights to Florida today that we think we're going to go for.
Oh, cool.
That doesn't sound cheap, £600 a head, but it's not bad on Virgin.
Well, I suppose it's, yeah, I mean, I suppose it's going to cost a lot to go there, isn't it? It's like Florida's not going to be a cheap destination.
So we're hoping to rent a little villa place.
Oh, okay. So you're going to is that through the travel agent or separately?
No, we're not doing a package deal because they jack up the prices a bit from what we saw. We're going to rent that separately.
Right.
Separately, hire a car and just do it ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's the best way, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully it won't add more stress to it. I quite enjoy driving over there. It's fun, but yeah, we'll see.
Right, let's have a look in the chat. J.O. Callum also said it sounds like they should be waiving their fees for that auction to make up for the madness. Unlikely though. Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I'll just be happy if they honor the sale prices that I got. If that happens, I'm a happy man. I couldn't care about anything else right now. I just want an invoice so I can pay.
But you look at it this way. It's like, so in terms of tech, right? So we rely on the internet for the most important parts of our job, right? So you've got sourcing. A lot of us do sourcing online as well, whether that be like, buying on eBay to sell on eBay, or whether that be buying on auction, like you've been rather like successfully / unsuccessfully doing today. So we rely on for that, and then we rely on obviously on like to be able to list and sell things on, to actually sell things, we need the internet. So that's like number one, right? But then you're also reliant on these other things like that you don't often think about that can really change like the time it takes you to do your job and how well you do it. Like I was talking to you earlier about really getting fed up of having to cut paper labels out with a paper guillotine. like since we've been doing a lot more like smaller parcels, we're shipping out a lot more parcels a day than we used to with all the multi-quantity sales. And I'm now finding that I'm spending time, you print it out. I thought I did well by getting myself a laser printer when I first started reselling. I was like, it's super quick, it's super efficient, super cheap, I've done the
Yeah,
right thing.
I love
but
mine.
but like the paper wastage is there, because obviously if you print out a Royal Mail receipt on an A4 piece of paper, and you can't print out multiple receipts through eBay. So if you print out a receipt, it's going to waste paper that way. And also then it means cutting out labels though, with, like I said, with the paper guillotine, and then you sellotape the label onto each package. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but I kind of timed myself doing this. And it took me, I'm sure, about 60 to 70 seconds to do it properly. Like by the time I'd gone to the printer, gotten it, cut it out, I tried to like record the time, and I was thinking, if you've got like 10 parcels a day or something, and that can quickly add up. I mean, 60 seconds isn't a lot, but
Yeah.
10 minutes a day over a week and then over a month, it
Well,
seems
that's
like
it. And I was old school, exactly as you are, for years until I got this Zebra label printer. And it's
yeah.
like one of those devices that once you go there, you can't come
I
back.
think
I
yeah,
love it so much.
I've been
Rip and
thinking
stick.
about
Like,
it.
yes, stick it on, stick
Yeah.
it on.
Well, that's the thing. The stick, that alone would save you so much time.
Yeah,
It's really important to kind of kind of use technology where you can for that. And the same applies to how you take your photos, whether you're using like a camera phone or whether you're using like a normal digital camera. Like are you then taking your photos, then using a USB cable and transferring files and copy and pasting them across? Or have you gotten it worked out that whilst you're taking photos, your photos are being uploaded to the cloud ready for access without you having to mess around? And again, that can be a time save. So there's so many like different things that you can do to improve or make like your reselling a bit more
we
efficient.
we have the cloud. I think I disconnected my phone from the cloud because we were having all sorts of weird issues where I was receiving Andrea's calls and the whole thing got messed up
Messed up.
somehow. So I think Andrea's is on the cloud now, but even now she's got issues because she's filled up the cloud. She's filled up her allotted whatever, and we don't want to pay for more storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets complicated, especially with Apple. It's just I'm confused by the whole thing.
Oh, I understand what you mean. It's like it can be a bit annoying, but it's once you get it to work. I mean, what happens with me is I take my photo on my phone, and by the time I finished taking a batch of photos, all the photos are already in a folder on my computer,
Mm.
stored on Google's Drive,
I
and
would love
then yeah, so literally as I'm taking photos, they're just being sent to this online folder that's on my desktop, and then I can just do what I want with them from there on.
that.
And
Andrew's gone back to what I tried for a while, which was opening the eBay app, adding the photos on a draft. So you take the photo straight into the listing on your phone, and then you go back to your desktop and finish it.
I mean,
That's
we're
a,
working like a well-oiled machine now. We did 57 listings yesterday,
I
and
heard that's
yeah.
amazing.
Well, what's happening is like Beck's upstairs doing drafts. So, and then once she's done the drafts, like she brings down like the bag of parts or whatever we've got. Then she can just chill out, and I just take the photo or get onto the next batch, and I'll just start taking photos. And then I'll have, like I said, they appear on this folder, and then I just attach them to the drafts that are already done
Yeah.
using templates. And it's just so much more efficient because we're both doing parts of the process that we
Yeah. Isn't there something wonderful about I'm just going to go in and finish a draft? It feels like
yeah.
you're not doing the work
Well,
because
that's just
it's
it.
half done. Or someone, it's not.
We
It's
both
a
talked
weird
about
thing.
this. We both talked about this. We both said it felt like cheating. Like we both
Yeah.
felt we were getting the easy end of the deal, because Rebecca hates taking photos of things. She really doesn't enjoy the photography side of it. She just finds it a chore. And similarly, I can't do drafts as easily as she can. She can sit down and churn through, she can sit through like a box of RC parts and and just work through them a lot quicker than I could. And so we both feel like we're cheating and not doing nearly as much, yet we're getting way more done than we've ever done before.
Yeah. Well,
So
the method that I've kind of adopted now, which is when I'm doing a bit of research, I'll find a listing that has everything kind of in place that I like. I might pinch elements of the title or whatever, and then I'll just like save that to a draft. So click sell similar and save it to a draft. And then it's like, it feels like the majority of the work is done. Then when I come back to it, it just feels easy, just slotting in the pictures,
yeah,
tweaking things, making sure the information and all the category and stuff that they'd selected is right, writing my own description and click go. And that just, I don't know, in my head, it just makes the whole process easier. That's really helped me.
definitely. Retro Vintage 65 says, anyone wants Virgin, give me a shout. Oh, there you go.
Oh, Krillin super chatted you, by the way, another $2. He says,
Another $2. Cool.
flights to Disney are high when schools are out. Well, funny you should say that. Because Ellen is doing her GCSE, she finishes her exams early. We've managed to squeeze a little slot before the summer holidays after her exams, so we're getting things a bit cheaper.
By the way, Jane Cam say, "Woo, go for it, Nick. Before you book, look at Norwegian flights."
I've made a note, guys.
Yeah, if you don't mind a couple of hours stop in an airport, you can go as cheap as 200 to 200. What?
If I can get it for, let's say, 250,
that's mad.
600.
No way. Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm sitting at an airport for 2 hours.
In Norway, and then you can say I've been in Norway as well.
Oh, it would go to Norway and then out from Norway?
Yeah, well, it looks, I don't know.
Maybe.
I think that's what he means. I think so.
Thought there might be an internal American
Before
flight.
you look at Norwegian flights. Norwegian flights isn't an airline, is it?
I don't know.
An airlines, wouldn't it? I think they mean stopping at a Norwegian airport.
See what that means.
I think it means stopping at a Norwegian airport for a couple of hours.
Oh, cool.
Because my parents used to do that when they used to fly to Pakistan. Like, it was always cheaper when the plane would stop off in Dubai or something. So the plane would stop for a couple of hours in Dubai. You'd go out and just be like, wow, this is hot, and get back on the plane.
Yeah. Well, last time we went to the States, we stopped off, but we stopped off within America and then had to do an internal, which made our flight cheaper. But that was like 15 years ago.
Oh dear.
Anyway, I will look into that.
Reseller Niche says Florida is fun. Disney World is expensive, though.
Yeah, we've got to do it at least once.
Yeah.
This is for Ellen's benefit more than anything.
Kirsten says, am I the only person not tempted to visit Disneyland? No, Kirsten, I really couldn't care less about it. But again, I do have daughters who probably would, but like, I'm not sure if that is enough to make me want to go to Disneyland.
I can take it or leave it, to be perfectly honest. It's a girl thing in our family.
Yeah,
I'm happy to go.
Lonnie says Nick is in an agitated state. I would be too. Got to be crawling out of his skin over there.
I have had virtually no sleep because I was up all night overthinking everything and what I was going to do, and then I was up fairly early, and then I was sat on a computer stressing for like 7 hours. So yeah,
it's crazy.
I'm running on fumes.
But when you're dealing with a whole, you know, obviously it'll become clearer when you share it, but when you're dealing with like a larger haul, it really can have that effect because it's a big decision you're taking. And
well, the numbers were frightening.
Yeah,
the volume was frightening enough to start with. Then trying to work out how much value is there, because there's no way I could have looked up every item. There are thousands of car parts I've bought, and there was no way. It's hard enough to just look up the ones I did research and find some information. And then you've got to think, okay, how much am I going to bid on it? And how far do I want to go? Do I want all of it? How am I going to store it? How am I going to move it? Like, wow.
So much goes into it. But yeah, I mean, it can be a game changer though. I mean, like I can't
change the game today.
Yeah. George Ross has got a good question. Wally Shed, he says, question, what percentage of current resellers do you think would survive if the internet was to suddenly go and never return? I'd say it's difficult to put you can't really put a dead on figure on it, but I think people that are going to survive reselling anyway would survive reselling anyway, I reckon. I don't think it would.
I think so. I think it would be difficult because all of a sudden you've got to think, how do I reach customers without the internet? That's the basic question. So what?
But if it was happening to everyone though, then it's not special, is it? If it was to go away, then that would be the standard.
But it
There'll be
is.
no,
Let's take, for example, most of your stores now car parts. Let's say suddenly no internet. You've got to what? Sell them locally? You try and find a guy in, what's that guy in
once,
Cyprus? He
yeah,
wanted a little
who wanted
arm or
that?
something.
Yeah.
That ain't happening
No,
anymore.
no, but it would change what you're doing, no doubt. But it would still, I still think that the same people that stick at it now would stick at it then, because just because we've got the internet, doesn't necessarily mean that it's just instant, easy. You know, it's just instantly easy for everyone.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people that will start this and decide it's not for them, even with the internet, even with smartphones, blah blah blah. It just doesn't matter.
I'll tell you what, because let's say we did lose the internet tomorrow, so we've lost it as
Yeah.
sellers, but the buyers have lost it, so they've got to come to you maybe
Yeah.
to buy, I don't know, a golden coin maker, for example.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
so yeah, it works both ways, because suddenly they can't go online to pick up a cheap whatever from Amazon. So yeah, the local market would boom, wouldn't it? If you think about
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people still want these things, and yeah, it would change. Obviously, it would definitely change things. But I think if you're like determined enough to make it work now, because everything has pros and cons, right? So one of the pros at the moment of the internet is your ability to reach customers, but then there's a con to that as well, which is going to be the massive competition that you've got, because you're it's not just one way that you just get all the one-sided benefits of being able to reach like the world. You reach the world, but guess what, so does every other reseller, and guess what, it there's lots of competition because of that. So everything will come with its own sets of ups and downs, I think.
definitely. Let us know, actually, I was going to say, let us know, guys, in the chat, what you think the advantages of technology are regarding reselling, and the disadvantages, if there are any. There's a
Definitely.
question there. Oh, it's about Nintendo. Hold on. All Nintendo's games came in a cardboard box. Now you can get plastic game boxes from Nintendo with printed covers. Do you think I will get more money if I sell my games in these, or a bad idea? Well, you will get more money, but then you've got to invest in the box anyway. You've got to invest time and money in that. So if you think it's going to add more than your investment, then yeah, it kind of makes sense. But I don't know. You'd have to look into the numbers, really. Personally, I probably wouldn't bother.
Yeah. There you go. Yep, it's Norwegian Airlines, and it stops for a couple of hours in Oslo, says Jay.
Oh, Norwegian Airlines, right? Okay, I will
Yeah.
check that out tonight.
Oh, Megapixel says, here, please, can you do an eBay SEO video? You touched on it recently, but have looked at my current settings. It looks more complicated than expected. There are different keyword fields. Yeah, I was meant to be doing that. Thanks for reminding me.
Honestly, that was fascinating. I think that's an area that you're good at technically wise, and if you can explain that, because I don't know any of that stuff. I never even look into that stuff.
But it's weird, because it's one of those weird things that you'd think would be a lot more common knowledge than it is. I'm sure there's lots of people out there for whom it is already common knowledge. I mean, at the end of the day, I found it by remembering a video I'd seen from like Nicole Stay, and from as Ken corrected me, I said crazy New York taxi driver, but it wasn't. It's crazy NYC driver, like Joe Hubcap Joe, like over in the States.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He did a video about it a couple of years back, and it's just one of those things that for some reason has just not become as common knowledge, but you'd think it would be quite important, because
sometimes you just need someone to point it out. And literally, I think those videos are invaluable, and if you can put those out there, I certainly will benefit from those, because I don't spend the time looking into the detail, looking
There's
at
so much to look at on that's the weird thing. I mean, it's like having the technology again of eBay it's like they've given you all the tools that any e-tailer has. It's pretty amazing. I mean, like when you actually look at what's offered to you as a shop, there's so many benefits, and I think a lot of people don't necessarily delve into them. It's kind of like, when people get, like when you were younger and you pirated Photoshop for the first time, and downloaded it, but all you ever did was like use the warp tool to make your friends' faces look hideous. You didn't actually use any of the powerful features that professionals were paying like 800 to £1,000 for the software. You were just using one or two tools to do something daft, right? it's very similar. Like we all pay for eBay shops, right? And as part of that, eBay do provide you with like a ton of really good tools,
Yeah.
and but most of them aren't necessarily, they don't, I suppose they don't promote them because they don't want to overly confuse people, or they're not necessarily the most user friendly, so they just keep everyone to like these simple basics. But for those people that go into it, I mean, you know, talk, some people talk about like the back end of eBay. You'll hear Scavenger Life and stuff talking about that as well, like keywords and SEO and the back end of eBay. And there is a lot to it, just even such as promotions.
Yeah.
um
I mean, I'm totally guilty of pretty much ignoring that side of it. I kind of go along in there, it's not broke, I won't fix it kind of attitude. But I think it goes for all tech. I mean,
yeah,
talking about my iPhone, I don't use half of the technology that's in here to my advantage. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
sometimes Ellen goes on here and shows me a shortcut to do something. I'm like, what?
What? Yeah, it's like,
How? Yeah, blow my mind. She's like, Dad, you're so useless. You didn't even know you could send the
yeah.
voice. It's like, ah.
But that's the thing. It's I suppose it's so easy when you know how. Like to Ellen, that's going to just come so naturally.
Well,
You
that's
know,
why those
having
videos are great. And I think you really
mm,
should, you know, put some little ones out just to nudge us in the right direction and give us that, like, ah, okay, I get it. I
yeah.
see what you
Well,
mean.
but you know, I'm aging fast, and I'm feeling now that I'm getting. You know, you can almost
Well, I'm like
feel
10
you.
years ahead of you, so imagine what it's
Yeah,
like in
yeah.
here, mate.
So you slow down. You feel like people, but yeah, it's definitely worth looking at. I mean, like even the tools such as like this, like I said, the promotion manager, and you know, trying to get people to buy more when they're buying from you can be such a huge, you know, such a huge benefit, and you can do that with some of the tools they provide. So I will definitely look into doing that. I think there was yet another super chat from Krillin, another $2. I want to take a boat to EU like my ancestors did. Okay, Krillin.
And there's some people have answered my question. What are the good things and the bad things about the internet? Stu
Oh
Mandy.
yes.
Without the internet, I would have to travel to people's houses to annoy people with my poor jokes and amusing photos of cats. And in the same vein, Carla says, "Hi, Carla. The advantage of the internet is being able to spend a lot more of your conversation hours in your pants." See, we really use the internet to our advantage, don't we?
We do. It's so funny. And Ray's reminded me, and the video about video and audio equipment. Yes, I will do that as well.
You've
You know
probably
what? I
got
need.
a list as long as mine, haven't you?
I think the problem is I need to start writing stuff down. My brain cannot remember stuff.
I eventually threw away my list of videos that people had requested or I'd put down. It got too long. I threw it away on January the 1st. New Year's resolution, give up on that.
Chuck it. Oh no. Seaside Salvager says no internet, no tat chat. And Lisa says, Nick, I love your awesome t-shirt. What have you
Oh,
got? What t-shirt?
I've got
Oh,
one of
Danger
Danger
Mouse.
Ah, classic. I
Danger
used to
Mouse.
love the voiceovers. It was David Jason and who else was that? David Jason and I can't remember. Someone will know in the chat. Oh, Graham's got a question for you. Questions are here. Who did you use to ship the Roland E70 keyboard a while back?
Oh, bloody hell.
The old one.
God, I can't. Roland E70 keyboard.
No.
Oh, this, I think, yeah, like a big keyboard. I think it would have either been, if it was a UK sale, which I'm pretty sure it was, I think it may have been Parcel Force, because, but I think I bought through PayPal, because if you buy through PayPal, Parcel Force is heavily discounted. It works out a lot cheaper than buying it.
Not Parcel
Yeah.
to Go or
No. If you buy Parcel Force through PayPal, it can sometimes be really discounted. Like you can
you go
ship
to the PayPal website and they've got
and find the auction ID. If you find the auction ID or find the transaction and say send, you can buy your postage through PayPal. And I'm pretty sure I used Parcel Force, and it was a lot more discounted than in the post office. So they discount the post office price
there you
by
go.
a fair
I
bit.
didn't even know that was an
Yeah.
option.
Yeah. If it wasn't, then it would have been one of the Parcel to Go couriers, whoever allows the length of a keyboard. So yeah.
Ah, Terry Scott. Yes, from Terry and June. He did Penfold. I love that show. You're probably too young to properly
No,
remember.
I remember a little bit of it. I remember a little bit of Danger
Danger
Mouse. I
Mouse.
remember the theme, yeah, and yeah, I remember like yeah, Penfold. I remember Penfold, and yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I loved it.
but not like I don't remember like you couldn't say to me, do you remember that episode? No,
No,
you
I
couldn't.
can't remember that.
Yeah, I can't. I
No.
could. I remember Banana Man.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Banana Man. Just about though. Just about. Inspector Gadget. I remember a bit more.
Yeah.
You know,
Banana Man
that's
is a young man called Eric. When
Eric.
he eats
Yeah.
a banana, he becomes, yeah.
So- but yeah, there's a great keyboard. By the way, I think Graham, that is a nice keyboard, the Roland E70. To
Oh,
tell
Andrew,
Nick.
Andrew used to love Terry Scott. He was second choice for husband after Des O'Connor.
Ooh, wow, Des O'Connor. There's another name.
He was a sort old Des.
Des O'Connor. Oh god, this chat's been derailed talking about Danger Mouse and Des O'Connor.
Yeah, yeah, we've gone off track. Whatever, they're the best ones. Just keep going.
Danger Mouse. Oh gosh. Yeah, keep your comments coming in the chat, guys, because I've just lost my train of thought completely. Oh, here we go. Here's a good question from Sib, actually, not tech related. Do you think you attract the wrong kind of customer if you're selling new stuff cheap, e.g., less than £5 products, hashtag and other crap? I don't know. I think it's I think rather than the price, I mean, the price can have an impact if you're priced cheaper for a similar item than the rest of the market. But I think rather than price, the niche can determine more the kind of the wrong kind of customer. I mean, if by that I'm guessing you mean people that are going to cause headache or maybe be picky or more likely to say items haven't arrived. I mean, what's your experience, Nick?
I don't know. I don't think you can really pick out a niche or a price range or something. We've had issues with all sorts of stuff in the past sort of 5-6 months. But I have seen, and I think you said this before, if you sell an expensive quality item, chances are you'll get no problem. I think you're selling to a different sort of clientele when you get into the higher values for sure. But I don't know. I've never
Yeah,
seen any real pattern with the lower value stuff.
yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult to say. I mean, we were thinking back, we've not had like any issue at all with, for example, the small cheap parts that we're selling. We've had really no issue with that at all. So, and we thought maybe we'd get some issues with those, but
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
it's weird, isn't it? I don't think you can
yeah.
really.
And I think I think it's so easy to just get like your first few encounters, I suppose, will set how you feel about something, if you know what I mean. Like if you happen to be unlucky and you go into a niche and you come across a couple of difficult issues or something that puts you off, that will put you off, and that will color your idea of that niche or something.
I
But
tell
I
you
bet
what,
you I could then find another seller that's in the same niche that will praise the niche and be like, I've never had an issue. It's just
I have sort of noticed. We in items sort of £10 and under, you will get people trying on the whole, oh, it's got a fault that isn't there, because they know it's not worth you paying for the return. So we've had some where they're kind of fishing for you to say, oh, just keep it and I'll refund, because they know that for you to then pay to have it back is like probably all of your margin or beyond. So I've seen that. So items around sort of £10-12 mark, we've had where they make up some fault and then say, oh, can I send it back because it's got a fault or whatever, knowing that you're going to say, no, it's not worth it, keep it and I'll refund you. So we just call their bluff and say, yeah, sure, send it back.
yeah.
Most of the time they don't.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's exactly what I was listening to Scavenger Life the other day, and that's what they say as well. If someone wants a return, just say, "Yep, send it back,"
Yeah.
and leave it at that. Don't try to get involved, because a lot of people now are saying, "Oh, no, but I don't want to send it back," and but try not to get involved in any discussions. Just be like, "Yeah, just send it back."
Yep. Oh my God, Batfink. Trapdoor, yes.
I remember Trapdoor, yeah, Hong Kong
Captain
food.
Caveman.
I don't remember Captain Caveman.
Count Duckula. That was David Jones.
I know Count Duckula definitely. Yeah,
Oh my God. I know it's
Bodger
just
and
'cause
Badger. Yeah,
I know it's just because we were that generation, but weren't the programs that much better? They were funnier.
Nightmare says Reselling Polly. I remember Nightmare.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like the one with the grid.
3 steps forward and
Yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah.
wore like a helmet, and then they were directed.
That's right. And they had that creepy guy and like
Yeah, and the weird tree
yeah,
on the platform thing at the end.
yeah, exactly. And sometimes they'd have like a spider and yeah, that was crazy. Wizardora.
Oh, that's
Wizardora.
not really my generation.
Uh,
Tweenies, says Peter. That my daughter was into that.
Alia says I was testing a VHS player the other day and stuck on Transformers, the animated movie. Ended up watching all of it. Lol, love the artwork. Epic.
That's like the old. I'm just testing a SNES, dear. 2 hours later, I'm just testing a SNES, dear.
God, yeah, it can
Might take me
happen.
another hour to complete Mario World. I've
All
got
right.
SNES Mini now, so I've been playing that. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, you got one of those, didn't you? As well as your Nintendo Switch.
With Switch, yeah, I actually sent David McGregor my online code so he can beat me at Mario Kart now.
Well, people are really bringing out old school cartoon programs.
Yeah, forget the topic. We're just talking TV programs now. Family Ness. I love the theme tune to
Family Nest.
Yeah, it was like Loch Ness Monsters. I
I don't
can't even
remember.
remember the theme tune now I said that.
Postman Pat, yeah, Pingu, yeah.
Pingu is funny.
Yeah, Pingu, I remember Pingu. And there's Pocoyo my daughter liked when she was younger.
Oh, I've seen the toys, but I don't think I've seen the show.
Wurzel Gummidge, yeah, definitely.
Oh my God, we're back in the 70s here. Wurzel Gummidge.
Flower Pot Man, yeah. Magic Roundabout. Definitely.
We'll just read things out of the chat.
Yeah. But they're just such old school things that you've forgotten about and then you just get into again. It's crazy.
Bagpuss. Oh, shall I share my Bagpuss story?
Oh yeah, go on.
When I was little, we lived on a farm, right? And this was in like mid-70s. So I was about 3 or 4 when we moved from that house. And we had a black and white TV at this point. And about the time we moved to Datchworth, where my parents still live, they invested in a colour telly. So I was about 4 or 5. Turn on for Bagpuss, and it freaked the hell out of me that he was pink and white. I'm like, I was in tears. I couldn't handle the fact. Why is Bagpuss pink and white? He's grey. It had to be explained to me what was going on. Brilliant. I remember Trumpton and Windy Miller and all of that stuff. Chegger's Place Pop. Oh, bless old Chegger. He died a few months back.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Button Moons come out.
Finger bobs. Yeah. Finger bobs. Like little mice, little like cut out.
I think I remember those. Button
Moon.
Yeah, Button Moon, obviously.
We've been chat-jacked, apparently.
Chat. Why? Oh yeah, the topic.
The chat has been hijacked. We ran out of steam with the chat anyway. With the topic.
The topic, yeah. I think we're to be honest with you, you just get frazzled sometimes, guys. Honestly, like let you in on a secret. We don't have a great deal sometimes to talk about, but we love hanging out and doing this because everyone gets together and the chat is so active. I mean, it's the chat that makes it, really, isn't it, Nick? To be honest,
absolutely.
We're just
fair, to be floundering now and again after 100 and so many shows. That's come on, cut
throw me a bone, throw me a freaking bone here. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But it's the guys in the chat, really. Yeah, who are those 2 blokes that keep talking over the top of the chat? Says Leather. That's it, exactly.
I'm just going to lean back and read the side chat now.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Oh no, it has been amazing. Ryan's coming with a question.
Yep.
Oh, it's about that new monetization rules and one.
I brought that up in our Sunday show, and there was differences of opinion, but I think that really sucks. I can get it why they might say to people coming on the platform, this is what we want you to achieve before you monetize. But to say to people that in some cases have been making videos for 2 or 3 years and building up a following, to suddenly say, oh, you're not quite good enough, or you're not quite there enough, we're going to take away your right to monetize. That sucks.
Yeah, see,
Especially, especially
I
while Amazon are starting to slowly announce that they're going to get into the video making platform. People are just going to flock to the new
I'd
site if they
hope that
release it.
wouldn't happen though, because like I'm different to you on this. I definitely not disagree isn't the right word, but difference of opinion definitely. Like I can see what you're saying that people that are already getting it fine, but I mean my other channel got demonetized. It doesn't bother me at all, to be honest. Like it just it's so inconsequential.
It is
Like
the
like
principle. It's not the money. It's the principle of saying,
yeah.
yeah, that you're fine to do whatever you like, and then suddenly to go, nah, take that away. It's just like, why?
Yeah, but they don't have to
I
give you
mean,
anything, really,
huh?
do they? They don't have to give you anything, really. They could
They
just
don't have
like,
to.
huh?
They don't
They
have to,
don't have to
but
know.
they were, and
They
then
were, and then
with
they
no
decided
apparent reason,
not.
with no explanation, suddenly say, nah.
Yeah, but see, I'm just gonna go with like, yeah, no, they don't have to. So and they've taken it back. It's like I just don't see the big deal really. I think it's just so what? Like they took mine away on my other channel. My other channel's got like nearly 2 million views, but because I've not put any content out, I don't think it's gained any subscribers or anything. It's
Oh,
been
that
stuck.
one. Oh, blimey.
Yeah, it's been stuck at like 2,000 something subs for like 4 years now, something like But the videos keep on getting views, so it's not the view.
I thought
It's
it
not
was
the
1,000 subs.
Yeah. I've not had any subs. I've not been. I think I've
You
just
have
been.
to have gained 1,000 subs.
Yeah, I think it's about they want to see. I think that's the thing. They want to see channels, I suppose, that are like doing stuff. Like that
Right.
channel's been sat, and I've been whatever I've lost, I've gained. So it's pretty much stayed static at around 2,500 subs. But the views have been going up. I mean, it's nearly at 2 million views now, or something
Yeah.
like that.
I
So
get what you're saying. That it's their
yeah,
platform; they can do what the hell they like. But it seemed a very poorly thought out thing, and it would have
yeah.
damaged them no end. Believe me.
Yes, but I also think maybe people that then like get put off by that. I would say it's also a case of actually separating people that actually enjoy and want to make videos. Like when I started making videos, it always, to be honest with you, whatever I do, I'll probably make video. I love making videos. Like
Yeah, why not?
I've made videos, guys, of this is how naive I was, right? On my other channel ages ago, I made a video because I was really chuffed with my new chimney starter for my barbecue. Okay, a chimney starter is like a metal jug that you fill with coals, and it allows you to burn coal in a more efficient manner. And the kind of person I am, I don't know why, back whenever, it's probably about 6, 7, 8 years ago now, I think this video first went up. And I was just like, I'm going to film this. This is so cool. And I shared it on YouTube. And it was my first video that I think got a lot of views. And I remember like some guy contacting me, asking me whether he could use the video on his gardening website or something. And
Wow.
I like a proper shopping, like a shopping that it was a shop, online big shop, which sells garden and homeware stuff. And
Yeah.
at the time, I was still quite new to YouTube and everything. I was very new to it. I was like, this guy's trying to steal my bank account or something. I don't know. I just ignored. I was like, whatever, you scammer, and ignored it completely. That's how naive I was. So I didn't get anything from it or any. Do you know what I mean? Like it was.
No,
I just,
I'm with you with all of that. And I think I've probably said to you
yeah.
before, when I started YouTube, I didn't even understand what the monetization was. I didn't even know I could do it until it was explained to me. And I started in the same, in the same vein that I wanted to do it and I wanted to share. It's just that the pulling the rug out from under people's feet with no warning and no reasoning. It's just think is wrong in my book, but
Yeah,
we can agree to differ.
Exactly.
I just want to
Wow,
read Ben's comment quickly.
sure.
Don't mind. Ben Gilbert said, I left my job last month to do full-time reselling. It's hard, but so far the best thing I've ever done. You guys are great.
Oh, thanks, Ben. I
Wish
hope
you
it
all
goes
the
well
best
for
for
you.
it. Yeah.
There will be downs and there will be ups.
Yeah.
So
I would
just
say
remember
be
that.
prepared to work harder than you've ever done, potentially for less than you've ever earned.
Yeah,
You can handle that for a year or two, you've got it made.
exactly. Exactly. Sib says earlier, sometimes I get nostalgic and check what the actors are up to nowadays. Oh, they're talking about Biker Grove and stuff.
Oh, Biker Grove. That was where PJ and Duncan,
Grove. Yeah.
Ant and Deck came
I
from.
remember Spuggy and
Boogie. Yeah.
Spuggy and a brother. Like, his name was like Curly or something. No, it wasn't Curly.
No,
God.
that's from Coronation Street.
Yeah. He I can't remember his name, but he had a sister called Spuggy.
I remember Spuggy, the name for sure.
Yeah, I remember Spuggy, yeah. But can't remember the name of the brother now. Damn it, that's gonna bother me. I can't remember. It's just Round the Twist.
Oh my God, I
Wow.
loved that.
Round the Twist was amazing.
Australian show,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I absolutely loved what did I love? I can't remember. I loved the theme. I
Yeah.
remember the theme
Have
was
you
like,
ever felt like this?
yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Strange
Local
thing
shops
happened. That was
up
an
on
Australian show, wasn't it?
it was, yeah, it was.
You can get that on box set actually on Amazon. I'm not plugging my own
Westgate
listings. I don't
Primary
have
says
any.
Westgate Primary says local shop selling up on eBay, item number. Huh, huh. Someone's selling their shop, huh?
Oh, I'm gonna have a look.
Yeah, why not? Let's have a
Local
look
to
at
you,
this
I
shop.
won't be bidding, or maybe I will.
Yeah.
We were saying earlier, weren't we, about if you're going to go for job lots on the size of the scale that I went for today, you could, because the UK is so small,
You know
bid
what's
anywhere.
really funny, actually?
What?
I was talking to Rebecca about this because this ad was up on Gumtree earlier.
I'm just punching the number in. Hang on.
Yeah, you don't you
Is this
if
near
you
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 somewhere?
can copy and paste, Nick.
I have done.
Oh, you said you're punching the number in.
Yeah, well, copy and
Oh,
pasting.
I'm being pedantic.
Where is
Yeah,
it?
I saw the
Lancaster. Is Lancaster
yeah
near you?
very near. Yeah, I saw. No, I was speaking to Rebecca about this earlier.
Oh, I'm not being funny, but it looks like a right load of old
It's
tats.
steam. It's all steampunk, I
I'm sure
suppose,
there's a
and
market for it, but I can't stand this
yeah,
stuff. Skulls and dragons.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's value in it.
Well, some of them could be valuable, but
Two and
yeah,
a
it's
half
not my.
grand though? Is it really?
Yeah, well, I think like yeah, I think they were asking more on their Gumtree. Well, I mean, it could be them. There could be some value. You never know.
There was over 6 grand's worth of stock, it says in the description.
That's not enough. Then I think people need to realize when they're selling in job lots, you've got to be way under. Not that's not enough because that's like 6 grand is perfect. Well, that's like me saying, "Hey guys, buy my Thunder Tiger RC parts. There's about 30 grand's worth.
It
You know,
depends what you're buying.
I
Because
want 20 grand. It's not going to happen.
if it's fast selling in demand stuff, you can take a smaller margin. But for that sort of stuff, certainly I'd want it for £1 or something
Yeah,
or less. And 6 grand would be retail over the counter in a shop.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
not for me.
But yeah, I actually saw that earlier though. Definitely, I spoke to Beck about that.
Cool.
Stig of the Dump. I
Yeah.
don't even know what that is.
Based on a book where this guy, like a sort of caveman style guy, is living in a dump and he builds a little house with bottles on their sides for windows.
Oh, do you know what? I do
that so
remember.
clearly.
I remember this show on BBC where there was this like little kind of old gremlin man thing in the sand that would grant wishes.
Oh God, yes. Oh, what was
Yeah,
that
and
called?
he'd like breathe
Was it
or
it?
like he'd
Something
look like he was constipated to grant wishes. Like he'd go
Yeah.
something
Wasn't
like
that called Five Children and It?
something like that. That's it.
It.
Yeah, I
That was
remember that. That was epic. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and
wow.
they'd wish for gold coins and things.
Yeah. Oh, do you
I
remember
remember that.
Rhubarb and Custard?
No,
Animated. No?
Lisa Fenn's on it. Yeah, 5 children in it. Yeah,
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
yeah, 5 children in it.
Bod. Oh, Bod. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr. Ben.
Pob.
Mr. Ben
Remember
was
Pob?
Pob. Yeah.
He'd like just spit at the screen. That would be the
Bless.
show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd just spit at the screen and write his name in it. That was like the show. That was the show. Oh, brilliant.
Flump.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See, we're talking 70s again with the flumps. Will o' the Wisp. Oh my God.
Nick, I sell car parts, so if you want chat or advice, happy to help, says Richard Hale. I don't sell them on a really big scale, but happy to chat things over.
Cool. Yeah. Drop me a message on Facebook and we'll have a chat. I'm happy to take advice from anyone. I'm no expert, and I've got a lot. This is all of a
I
sudden
it's-
assuming, and I'm not wanting to jinx
yeah.
it. Assuming
Oh,
everything's gone through okay. Oh, another ka-ching. Oh, it's a PG tips thing.
oh, cool.
Well, we're almost at the hour. I'm just reading the chat on the side now.
Yeah,
I'm
people
so
have got
tired.
an endless list. It's like you think it would end, but there's like an endless list of TV shows. Demon Headmaster, I remember that.
Oh yeah,
Demon Headmaster and Alf. Yeah, Alf's a classic though. Alf's like
yeah.
Ulysses 31. Yeah, I mean those are like more classic shows. I'm kind of thinking of like
Battle of the Planets. Do you remember that? No.
I remember Captain America as well. No, Captain Planet.
Nick,
Captain Planet.
Nick, watch Tomorrow's Girl opening theme. Does it remind me of yours? What?
I don't know.
Does it remind me of your theme? Oh, what our opening theme on our videos sometimes with that little. I'm not sure I understand that.
I don't know.
I'm confused.
The Three Musker Hounds. I remember the Three Musker. Yeah,
Yes,
the Dogtanian.
that's it. Do, do, do,
Dogtanian.
do, do,
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Muscat
Grot
hounds
bags.
are always really
I remember those. Yeah, Dogtanian. I was one of my favorites, I think. Definitely. Garfield. I used to love watching Garfield, but it would be a real rush to get home to catch it. It was one of those that was really annoying because just wasn't happening. Just
I
wasn't
like to
happening.
see the Tony Hart's art show with Morph
Yeah.
come out of the little box on the table.
Yeah.
That was epic.
Wait for the whole show to see whether you'd see him sometimes.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, as soon as we're off air, I'm just going to pass out. I'm so shattered now.
Just the
I'll
stress.
have, I'll have dreams of an auctioneer with a giant hammer trying to kill me.
All the little parts will be falling on you from like.
Like a scene out of like Fantasia with car parts all marching around again.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. I mean, yeah, it will be amazing, no doubt.
Well, there should be a video up tomorrow showing me and Andrea at the preview, wandering around going, "Ooh, these look cool."
Oh, brilliant! There should have been a video of you bidding on it. That would have been epic.
It would have been one long
Just
beat.
rant.
I was swearing like a trooper. It was a nightmare. Yeah.
Keenan and Kel. I remember Keenan and Kel. Yeah, it's quite recent.
Right. Yeah, that's more 90s, that isn't it?
Oh, who didn't Krillin? Krillin just super chatted again, $2. Z, did you like Adam West, Batman? Who didn't like Adam West?
On the outside.
Do you know what? Adam West, right, is just what an amazing guy. And like he was really good as the mayor in Family Guy as well. Hilarious. He was hilarious in Family Guy. There's some amazing scenes with him in Family Guy. It was just brilliant. Adam West was amazing. Just a fantastic, and like even in The Simpsons when he was like they did like they did an episode with him, and he was like, I don't need molded plastic to enhance my physique, and he goes pure West like that. It's just brilliant. But yeah, and he's amazing in like I said, Family Guy. If you guys like Family Guy, you'll know Adam West was amazing in that. Just incredible. I think that is that is just brilliant. Wow, we've got 139 people who are watching us talk about Adam West, Mork, Mindy, a bit of auction chat, a bit of technology, the importance of technology to research. See, the importance of technology is you guys wouldn't have been able to lose brain cells to this chat. So thank you for sharing them.
I love reminiscing about childhood stuff. It makes me happy.
Brilliant.
Well, I bought that. Did you see that book I bought about the
No.
70s and 80s toys? Oh, it's in
No,
awesome.
I've not seen it. But this is the kind of thing that makes like it's just so cool to be able to take time, like you said, to just think about it, and you get that chance to do that when you work for yourself a bit more. I think.
Yeah,
I think because you can just get in the zone.
Richard's just put, Nick, I've just put in a request on Facebook for the TAT chat group. I'll go over and accept you in a minute. You guys, if you're not already part of the TAT chat group, I don't know if you linked that
I will put a
over.
link in. Actually, I'll put a link to your channel, but I
Can do.
forgot to put the chat link in.
The group is amazing. I can barely keep up with the amount of chat that goes on over there. Loads of helpful posts and stuff. So yeah,
It's huge.
thank you to everyone who's contributed over there.
The group is definitely it's just grown, and we've got quite a lot of members now, over 1,500 members, and yeah, so it's got a really good atmosphere in there. So definitely join if you would like. It's huge, says Sib. Definitely, it is. It's huge. It's the best group.
Oh, Mork and Mindy. Oh my god.
Yeah, Nanu.
Rest in peace, Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, he was genius, wasn't he? Right.
On that bombshell, should we wrap this one up?
I think we should
go to sleep in a minute.
Yeah, I think we should. Thank you everybody for joining us. Appreciate the company. Nick, as always, thanks for joining this. Amazing.
Like I say, guys, I will try and get that video out probably tomorrow now to show you what we bid on today. And I have a guest lined up for Friday. It had to be Friday. Good Use Goods, otherwise known as Jury, is going to come on and share some of his gaming collection as well as talk about his business. So can't wait for that. I think that's going to be 8 o'clock on Friday.
So just after we finish.
Oh God, yeah, you're on Friday.
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad that worked out. I completely forgot about the days.
Yeah, Megapixel saying reminders are here. SEO video. Yes, I'm going to sit here and make some videos.
Cool.
I need to do that. I need to do that more.
Right, yes. Well, that works out perfectly. So after Zahir and Beck, I will wait till they're off air, and then I'll go live with Jury.
That would be excellent. See his gaming. He's proper into that, isn't he?
Oh, he's got some amazing.
He's like really with like all boxed and inserts and a lot.
He spends serious money on that collection. I've said to him to get some of his like rarest and favorite bits out. So God knows what he's going to share.
Cool.
So if you're a gaming geek like us, yeah, join me on Friday.
Oh, Krillin asked Nick, when am I a guest? Oh, I would love to get Krillin on, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we'll sort that out, mate.
Definitely.
If you're serious about it, come on.
Yeah, Rob's got the sickest accent as well. It is like so cool.
Oh, New York accent.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining us, and we will see you then on Friday.
Yep. Take care, guys.